On a cool Monday morning in Seoul, Emma walks past a row of coffee shops. She doesn't stop to buy a latte. Instead, she heads to a small refill station where she pours fresh coffee into her own reusable cup. Around her, life is busy. People rushing, phones buzzing, ads telling them to spend. But Emma moves differently. She knows that every small choice adds up. Across the world, from Melbourne to Toronto, more people are living this way, spending less, enjoying more. Frugal living today isn't about being cheap or giving up joy. It's about being smart, creative, and intentional with money. Here are 7 daily habits of extremely frugal people you may never have heard of. Fresh, simple, and surprisingly powerful. 200 years ago, a shopkeeper in a small English town kept a notebook where he wrote down every penny he earned and spent. Nothing was wasted. Back then, frugality was a way to survive. People repaired clothes, saved glass jars, and grew their own food because they had to. Over time, the world changed. Mass production, cheap goods, and credit cards made spending easy. Frugality became something old-fashioned, even unfashionable. But now, it's making a comeback, this time by choice, not by need. Rising prices, climate concerns, and the search for a calmer life are pushing people back to old wisdom, but with modern tools. Today's frugal living can mean using a budget app, swapping clothes online, or cooking with what's already in your pantry. The goal is the same as it was centuries ago. Spend less, waste less, and live better. Habit 1. Reverse shopping mornings. Every morning, Aiko from Tokyo opens her fridge before she opens her shopping app. She calls it reverse shopping. Instead of writing a list of things to buy, she looks at what she already has and plans her meals from there. A half onion, 3 eggs, and a small piece of cheese? That's an omelette. Leftover rice and vegetables? Fried rice for lunch. Reverse shopping is more than just eating leftovers. It's a habit of seeing what's in front of you before you spend a cent. Many extremely frugal people do this daily. It stops food waste, saves time, and reduces surprise grocery bills. It also sparks creativity. You discover new recipes you'd never think of if you just followed a shopping list. In a world where online food delivery is just a tap away, reverse shopping forces you to pause and make do. The result? More money in your pocket and less food in the trash. It's a quiet habit with a big impact. Habit 2. Tiny daily micro-investing. Ravi, a graphic designer in Singapore, has a simple rule. Every day, he moves a small amount of money into an investment account. Sometimes it's just the cost of a coffee, $3 or $4. Other days, he sells one thing he doesn't use anymore, like an old phone case or a book, and invests that money too. This habit is called micro-investing. It works because it feels painless. You're not trying to save a huge sum all at once. Instead, you build wealth bit by bit, almost without noticing. Many apps now round up your purchases to the nearest dollar and invest the spare change for you. Others let you set a daily or weekly amount to invest automatically. Over a year, these tiny amounts can grow into hundreds or even thousands of dollars. It's like planting small seeds every day. You don't see the tree right away, but one day, you'll have shade. Frugal people love it because it turns spare change and unused stuff into future security. Habit 3. Zero-waste morning ritual. In Barcelona, Lena starts her day with coffee, but not the kind that comes in a disposable cup. She brings a small jar to a local refill station where she gets freshly ground beans without any packaging. At home, she makes oat milk from oats and water instead of buying it in cartons. Her routine is about more than saving the planet. It's also about saving money. By avoiding single-use packaging and making some things herself, Lena spends less each month. She even times her morning walk to pass by secondhand shops and community swap tables, where she can pick up free jars or containers. Frugal people know that zero waste often means zero cost. Every bag, jar, and bottle reused is one less thing to buy. Over time, these small actions add up, not just in savings but in satisfaction. Lena calls it her treasure hunt morning. She never knows exactly what she'll find, but she always knows she's keeping both her wallet and the planet a little healthier. Habit 4. Library first evenings. In Toronto, Marco finishes work and walks straight to his local library. But he's not just there for books. His library also lends out movies, music, board games, gardening tools, and even sewing machines. For Marco, this is library-first living. Before he buys anything, whether it's a novel, a DVD, or a set of screwdrivers, he checks if the library has it. Most of the time, it does. This habit saves him hundreds of dollars every year and keeps his small apartment from filling up with things he rarely uses. Many libraries around the world now have Library of Things sections, where you can borrow household items for free. It's perfect for frugal people who want access without ownership. Plus, visiting the library turns into a calming daily ritual, quiet, free, and full of possibilities. Marco says the best part is the surprise. He often finds something new to try, without spending a cent. In a consumer world that pushes buy now, the library whispers, borrow first. Habit 5. Digital minimal consumption. May, a freelance writer in Sydney, used to pay for 5 streaming services at once. But she realized she was only watching one at a time. Now, she rotates them. Each month, she keeps only one subscription active and cancels the rest. Next month, she switches. This habit, called subscription rotation, is a simple way to cut digital costs. You still enjoy the shows, music, or apps you love, but without paying for all of them at the same time. It also makes each service feel fresh when you come back to it. Frugal people often take this further. They share family plans, use free trials carefully, or swap recommendations with friends so they don't waste time scrolling. Some even take digital breaks for a week, using the time to read, cook, or go for walks. By reducing digital spending, you save money and gain extra hours in your day. As May says, "I thought I was buying entertainment, but what I really needed was less noise." Habit 6. The giving away ritual. In Cape Town, Jonah has a habit that surprises people. Every day, he chooses one item from his home to give away. Sometimes it's a book he's finished, a kitchen gadget he never uses, or a shirt he no longer wears. He doesn't sell them. He gives them to friends, neighbors, or local donation spots. At first, this might seem the opposite of frugal, but Jonah sees it differently. By letting go of things he doesn't need, he makes space in his home and in his mind. He also stops himself from buying replacements for no reason. This daily ritual builds a mindset of enough. When you give something away, you remember you already have plenty. It also creates connections. People remember kindness, and it often comes back in unexpected ways. Frugal living isn't only about keeping money in your pocket. It's also about valuing what you have and sharing what you don't need. Jonah says, "The more I give, the less I feel like I'm missing anything." Habit 7. Mindful waiting. In Melbourne, Tara keeps a small notebook called her Maybe List. Whenever she wants to buy something like a new jacket, headphones, or kitchen gadget, she writes it down instead of buying it right away. Then she waits at least 7 days before deciding. Most of the time, she forgets about the item completely. If she still wants it after a week, she checks if she can find it secondhand, borrow it, or wait for a sale. This habit is called mindful waiting. It stops impulse buying and gives your brain time to think. Frugal people know that wanting something in the moment doesn't mean you'll still want it later. Many use apps or notes on their phone to track their wait list instead of spending instantly. Tara says the habit feels like a pause button for her wallet. It keeps her from buying things she doesn't need, and when she finally makes a purchase, it feels more rewarding. Mindful waiting, she says, is the cheapest shopping trick I've ever learned. When you look at these 7 habits together, they seem small. Reverse shopping might save a few dollars. Micro-investing might feel tiny. Mindful waiting? Just a pause. But for frugal people, these habits work like puzzle pieces. Frugal living isn't about a single big change. It's about stacking simple daily choices until they grow into something powerful. These habits are proof that small steps can lead to big freedom. Frugal living today is not about going without. It's about choosing wisely, enjoying what you have, and making your money work harder for you. These 7 habits, small, simple, and repeatable, show that you don't need a big income to build a rich life. You can start with just one habit tomorrow. Open your fridge before you shop. Wait a week before buying something new. Borrow instead of buying. Give away instead of storing. The more you practice, the more natural it feels. Which habit will you try first? Share in the comment section. Your future self and your bank account will thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.